Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the recess meeting. Today is April the 27th. Wow. And it's 11:05 a.m. And welcome to the Budget Finance Economic Development Committee. My name is Yukile Sugimura. I'm the chair of this committee. And I'd like to say that this meeting is also being conducted in accordance with the Sunshine Law. And as a reminder, if you are not in the chambers, please identify by name who, if anyone, is in the room, vehicle, workspace with you today, and minors do not need to be identified. Vice Chair Kama, I see you're online. Okay. Next we have Member Johnson. Good morning, Member
Aloha, Chair. I'm in my car with my dog, and sorry if she barks, but just me and the dog, and I'm here and ready to work. Mahalo.
Okay. Then Member Rollins-Fernandez.
Aloha kakahiaka, mai Molokai nui ahina. I'm at my private residence, alone, and proud of Lahaina and West Maui for standing up to protect our vai. Mahalo, Chair.
Good morning. Member Cook.
Aloha, good morning. There's nobody in the Key Regional Office currently to testify, but we do have staff there. I'm looking forward to the meeting today. Thank you very much.
Okay. Member Hodgins.
Aloha, Chair. Aloha, everyone.
Aloha. Member Senensi.
Chair, Eolai Kabai. Here at the Hana District Office, I'm here with my staff member, Don Lono. Thank you.
Okay. From the Office of the Mayor, we have Director Leslie Milner. Thank you very much for all the time she's been giving the council. Department of Corporation Counsel, we have Christina Toshikio as well as Christy Wigglesworth. Committee staff, Pauline Martin, Kirsten Zabo, Legislative Analyst, James Kruger, Senior Legislative Analyst, Jared Pasquale, Legislative Analyst, as well as Clarissa McDonald, Legislative Analyst, Peter Hanano, Legislative Attorney, Deputy Director of Council Services, Rochelle Kawasaki, Leigh Deneen, Council Services Assistant Clerk. Please see the last page of the agenda for meeting information on meeting connectivity. Let's continue to discuss this one item on the agenda, which is BFED 1, Proposed Fiscal Year 26 Budget for the County of Maui. And members, as a reminder, oral testimony is closed on April 25th, but written testimony is always welcome and will be accepted. Opening remarks for you is that...
Apologies.
Oh, okay.
But, Chair, but we did email it out to the members already. But we'll distribute the physical copies once they're ready.
Thank you.
What number on Granicus?
236.
It might take some time for it to update on Granicus, but my understanding is that it was emailed as well. So it might be quicker to check your email. As far as status goes, we are balancing. The council has produced, the committee has produced a balanced budget. Just some corrections or adjustments that we wanted to discuss with the committee. I think the first thing we just wanted to raise and confirm with the committee is yesterday when the committee did its split of its of the balance it had in the general fund, I'm not sure if the committee also discussed how much would need to go into the open space fund. So we just wanted to confirm for the committee that, we'll be putting the required amount necessary into the open space fund. That's about $192,610, to make it consistent with the charter requirement for 1% of real property tax revenue. And then the remaining balance, as the committee discussed yesterday, would be split between the emergency fund transfer and the post-employment benefits. So right now the number we're calculating for that is $1,800,090 to each. The other thing that we just wanted to confirm for the committee is that as we calculate fringe, we're using percentages. So there is an extent of rounding that occurs there. So we may need to adjust for the rounding. And so we'll be doing that just to make sure that the budget remains in balance.
Works. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. There is one other item that we can discuss in the meantime, and I'll also pull up the 2024 description on my end. But the last item actually pertains to Bill 54. So at yesterday's meeting, the committee deferred action on Bill 54. And so our understanding is that the committee may wish to consider just referring that, including in its recommendation for the CR, referring that bill to the Great Committee.
Okay.
No.
So Member Paulton, can you hear what we just did? Because it's relative to your bill. She cannot hear. Oh,
Can you hear? Can you hear
I
Member
can
Paulson?
hear a little bit better now. Sorry, it's really loud over here.
okay.
So I just made a motion to send Bill 54 to the Great Committee. And then Chair Lee seconded it. And so I think we're in discussion. I didn't have any discussion.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that because the financial aspect of it can go forward, and
Yeah.
we can also request an RFLS prior to it being taken up, so that the lawyers tell us what is legal and what is not.
right. And we all heard Ms. Toshikio asking us to do that also. So this is in line with Corp Counsel. If no other discussion, members.
Yeah, I just was hoping that we could get it to the lawyers sooner than later, in terms of not having to wait until Great takes it up, so that, they're prepared and they're not rushed.
Okay, thank you. All right, members, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
I can't see
Aye.
everybody. Is there 9 members here?
Yes.
Yeah, there is, yeah. Okay, motion carries. Oh, there's Member Johnson. 9 ayes, motion
Aye.
carries. Okay, it will be referred. Thank you. Anything
Okay.
else you need?
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. For the Molokai Police Station, it'll be planning, design, permitting, and construction of the Molokai District Police Facility.
Okay. You have that? Okay. You don't need a motion for it, right?
That's my
Just make a
motion.
Correction. Oh,
Oh, you don't need a motion?
I think staff is saying they don't need a motion for that. Thank
Oh,
you.
great.
Thank you
Okay.
for looking it up. Anything else?
You're welcome.
Chair, that's as, I believe that's it for us.
Okay, thank you. So, is there any other,
Corrections?
check
Are we
this-
doing corrections now, Chair?
budget is imbalanced? Yeah, corrections. So, at this time, I would like to recommend, I think I'm hearing that there might be some amendments coming up. And when do you want this to be taken up? So we bring each bill up individually.
Chair, I believe, yeah, at this point, but the last thing before the committee would be to make its recommendation to the council. So maybe at this time, it might be the most appropriate if there are any last minute adjustments that need to occur, for those to be considered
Okay.
now.
Before we do passage on first reading. Okay, Member Kama, I heard you talking about.
Yeah. Yes, so I want to remove $10,000 from the Maui Taiko and set aside that $10,000 for cultural and environmental programs. I just wanted, not changing the money anything, but just deleting Maui Taiko and leaving the 10,000 there for cultural and environmental programs.
Okay,
Was that your?
That's my motion, Chair.
Was that your district
yeah,
priority?
it's for her district
Yes,
priority.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Motion made by Member Kama, second by Member Cook. Any discussions? Pretty much her pot, so, okay, all in
Right.
favor, say aye.
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 I have a question.
Oh, wait, you have a question?
No, after the vote.
Okay, all right. I don't see Member Johnson. Is he here?
I heard Member Johnson.
I heard him.
Oh, there he is.
I heard him.
Okay, 9 ayes, motion carries. Chair Lee, you have a question?
Well, at some point, you're going to tell us today if we have any excess funds as a result of, estimating the real property tax revenues. And so if that's the case, how much is that amount? And would the body consider restoring $40,000 to each council member's account.
Okay. I guess that's a question for James, Mr. Kruger. Do you have any excess funds from the real property tax?
So, Chair, our understanding is that after, based on the committee's RPT proposal and after making the necessary adjustment for the open space fund, there is about $3.6 million left. And right now, staff's understanding is that would be split between the post-employment benefits and the transfer to the emergency fund. So that would be the number, 3.6 million.
Oh, that's if we've decided to do that. But at this point in time, you're saying there's a $3.6 million excess.
Excess. Yeah.
So when can I make my motion?
Okay. So you can make your motion now, and then how does that affect our final decision on the emergency and the OPEB? We just decrease it if we do it.
Yes, Chair, maybe that could just be part of the motion, would just be to decrease the split between emergency fund and OPEB accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, so I move to add 40,000 to each council member's individual accounts.
Okay.
Mr. Johnson?
I need
Oh,
a second.
yes, second.
Okay. So Chair Lee made the motion, and Member Johnson made the second.
Yeah, I think that, with all the work we've been doing, it's not that easy to find people to work in the office. I'm having difficulty replacing Kurt. Every place you go, there's help wanted, help wanted, help wanted. So this is a tough market, and we need to be competitive, and we need, in order to get quality people, we need to pay them appropriately. So that's the reason why I'm asking for 40,000 for each member.
Okay. Any discussion? Member Paulton first, and then Member Rollins Fernandez.
I don't support this. No matter how many people you hire, you still need to do your own homework and come to work ready and understanding what's going on. We cut a significant amount out of the supplemental agreements. If you think it's hard to hire people from what you're paying, imagine the folks at SR 09C. That might not mean a lot to you folks, but it's like $40,000 annually for a full-time. And this is just a slap in the face to all those hard-working civil servants that go through a huge process just to get a below living wage job, like way below. Like I said last time, we didn't give ourselves raises. This is us giving ourselves raises. You can say it comes from your office account all you want, but the reality and the optics is you're increasing your own pots, and I'm not supportive of it. When I went through and I did the cuts, I prioritized needs over wants. And I didn't take away all the wants. I reduced a lot of them. And so I'm not supportive of this. Thank you.
Okay. Member Rollins Fernandez, I think I saw.
Yeah, Mahalo, Chair. I won't be supporting the motion, Chair. I think everyone, we had the discussion yesterday, Sunday, that everyone would sacrifice a little. And I don't think it's fair for us to also not make sacrifices. And we did increase RPT. So, that was something that we discussed not doing. And then for all the reasons Member Polton just stated, like it's, we need to be making sacrifices too. And I'm supportive of, increasing, our office budget, the amount we did yesterday, and not not restore it to the original proposal that we took up, I think it was on Friday, because that's what this basically would do. Actually, it would increase it by 5,000 because we reduced it yesterday. So the original proposal was 70,000 on Friday, and then we reduced it to 35,000, I believe, yesterday, and then Sunday, and then today the proposal is to increase it by 40,000, which would bring it up to 75,000. So it's actually more than what we had all agreed to on Friday. So I'll be voting against the motion. Mahalo, Chair.
So I just want to say that I think what happened in all of this discussion, that our A, B, and C accounts are merged into one. So there's an ability to use like B or C accounts. I mean, we don't really have C because B and C are together, but there's that ability to use that and not using whatever you were planning for C. So that, I think there's money there, but it depends on how you manage your office budgets is what we're talking about. Any other comments, members?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I speak to my motion, I don't need people criticizing me and double,
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Rollins Fernandez?
No.
Councilmember Cook?
Yes.
Councilmember Hodgins?
No.
Councilmember Senensi?
No.
Committee Vice Chair Kama?
No.
Committee Chair Sugimura?
No. Okay.
Chair,
Motion.
that is 3 ayes, 6 noes, motion fails.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Any other amendments, discussion? Okay, Member Hodgins?
I was on my phone when we took the vote for Bill 49,
Okay.
and I understand there was some issue afterwards, so I just wanted clarity on the ultimate, the end goal, the end game of it all. So what did we actually vote on? Because I was on my phone and it's kind of in and out.
Yeah.
So if OCS staff could just tell me specifically what it was, because I think it was originally Member Cook made 10 plus
10.
step, and then Member Johnson and he discussed maybe 15 plus step, and then in the next motion I thought it was for attorneys, and then I guess it was 20 plus step. So can somebody clarify if the step was already included in the 26 proposed budget, or if this is an additional step plus 20%, which would have basically made it the exact same thing as what we were discussing?
Okay. Okay, Sissy, Deputy Director, you want to speak to it?
Thank you, Chair. In the proposal, there was an increase that was proposed originally by OCS.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, we came in with a revised proposal for a 30% across the board.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And my understanding of the motion that was made in committee was for a 5% step and 20% across the board. So it is below what management proposed.
Okay. The step was the step that was included in the 26 budget to begin with?
Our understanding was that the requested step was a 5% step. In the regular steps that we had, there is some variation. So there are 4% and odd numbers within there. So they are not all 5%, but our understanding was that the request was for a 5% step and then 20%. The proposal by management was, and I'm only speaking about the non-attorney positions.
Yes.
That the non-attorney position across the board we requested was 30%. So the math comes out a little bit different. You don't just apply 25% across the board.
Mm-hmm.
We would do the 5% step for each category, each position, and then a 20% across the board.
Okay. 20% across the board plus the 5%. So it's basically 5% less than what was originally proposed in Bill 25-ish.
Sort of, the math doesn't quite come out that way, but in broad strokes.
Okay. And then some of the language in Bill 49 allows the director to just move people up and down steps.
That is correct.
So technically, you guys could just move somebody a step and then we would be right back to where we were at the 30%?
Technically, yes. The director does have the authority to move people between steps. So I haven't looked at it in that fashion. I think it would look a little bit differently if he were to just make a step adjustment that was out of line with the rest of what the office is. I'd have to look at the math. I'm
Okay.
not quite sure what that would turn out to be.
Why, and I guess I wouldn't necessarily ask you, I could ask the maker of the motion, but why did we include a step if you don't need to ask us our permission to do it?
That was the discretion of the membership.
Okay. Okay. It was a lot of moving parts at that moment. I would have probably preferred it at what Member Cook suggested, but we are where we are now. And I just wanted some clarification on that.
So just based upon the questions, and when this was going on, I too didn't realize that we went back up to 20 when Member Cook started at 10, Member Johnson took it to 15, and I thought we agreed on that. And then in this discussion, we're now back up to 20. But Member Hodgins, you want to propose an amendment to the bill?
In all honesty, Chair, I really don't feel like getting into it again. I'm kind of bummed that it happened the way it happened because that means we spent our last few days fighting with each other, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend the last few moments of this budget, and it was a struggle bus that we were all on for all month, fighting with my coworkers. And that's basically what this bill did, was made us fight with each other, and I didn't really appreciate the way it went down. Not only amongst the members, because hurtful words were said back and forth. And I think we don't need to have discussions like that. Like Chair Lee said, you can be civil. You can get your point across and you can be civil. But only meeting with 1 or 2 members before this hits the floor wasn't the way I think maybe that should have gone down, and it created unnecessary tension. Just like how we meet with OCS staff before they submit the budget, we discussed an increase, and I was happy to support it. I'm always supportive of our staff, as long as it's relatively reasonable. But when this hit the floor, this did catch me off guard, and I did have like a 15-minute meeting with director, and he's always a really nice guy, you know? So nothing against nothing against him, but I didn't appreciate the way it all went down. I don't want to fight with my coworkers. And to be honest, say we all voted no against this, what's going to happen with OCS staff? I don't think we'll be treated any differently, but you just never know. And it put us in a situation, I think, that was completely avoidable. And we cut Mayor's budget, and then we add to ours. And then we cut Mayor's budget, and then we add to ours. We cut Mayor's budget. We said we're going to cut Mayor's budget, and then we add to ours, which is why I voted no on the last motion we just had. But I just think there's a better way to go about this, and I hope to never do this again on the floor. And I hope that our internal staff can have conversations with us, and so we're not doing this again. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, Member Kama.
Thank you,
You have
Chair.
amendments.
Since we're in the mood to make corrections, if I may,
Yes.
I would like to move to restore $140,000 in budget category A for the Department of Planning for expansion positions, and cut $250,000 in budget category B for a net reduction in general fund expenditures of $110,000, not including any adjustments to fringe benefits.
Okay.
Need a second, please?
Okay, so this is for Department of Planning.
A second for discussion.
Yeah. Thank
Motion
you.
made by Member Kama and second by Chair Lee. Thank you. Okay. Discussion.
Members, my staff was contacted by the budget director on behalf of the Department of Planning to ask me to reconsider the funding cut that we made to expansion positions, taking the funding for those positions to 4 months of funding rather than the traditional 8 months. The planning department offered to cut its operating expenses budget by $250,000 to more than balance the restoration of wage and salary expenses. It is only for that reason that I ask you to consider this potential restoration. I ask for your support of the motion.
Okay, very good. Chair Lee made
I
the
have a
second.
question.
Oh,
How many more of these do we have?
Member Kama, do you have more?
I just have one more for East Maui Water Authority
Okay,
restoration.
okay, let's vote on this. Discussion, Member Paulton.
I'm not sure Shirley was finished
I'm done.
with her turn, but okay. My question is, how do we, I mean, is it, I don't feel comfortable restoring it without the fringe, like, because if you're gonna hire folks, they got union representation that they gotta have, you know, all the things that when they sign the contract, you know, which is like sick leave, vacation, ERS, like that's my question for clarification. I'm not sure who is the appropriate entity to answer the question, but there's a lot of background noise, so I'm not sure. What I heard was restore the expansion position, but not restoring the fringe. I think that we should include the fringe. I don't know the calculation, but you can't hire someone and not give them what the contract for all the bargaining unit employees allots for them.
Okay.
So I think that's probably a budget director question, because I just took what she asked me to do based upon what planning had asked her to ask me.
Ms. Milner,
So could we get budget director, Chair?
she's here. Okay, she's popped up.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Councilmember Paulton and Councilmember Kama. Yes, the intent was also to restore fringe. So if the body only wants to restore the 250, I'll just need a moment to calculate about what that would be. In salaries plus fringe to get to 250. So I believe it would be 125,000.
Wait, you're echoing. Say that again.
So 125,000 in salaries plus 117,475 in fringe would be a total of 242,475, which would come under the 250,000 that planning has offered to cut from their B budget.
Okay,
So that means I would have to amend the motion to delete, not including, to include adjustments to fringe, right?
yes.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Councilmember
Okay.
Kama. Yes, I believe the revised
Okay.
motion would be to restore 125,000 to the A budget plus fringe and reduce the B budget by 250,000.
Okay,
Okay.
I got that.
All right, so Director Milner, before you pop off, I can tell that this next motion that Member Paulton will be, Member Kama will be making is going to bring you back up to get the same kind of information. All right, members, so you heard the information that was just provided. Yeah, okay, any more
So-
discussion? Okay, go ahead, Member Kama.
So we have a motion on the floor, right, for the 140. So I want to withdraw that motion if it's okay, right? Withdraw that motion and then make a new motion to restore 125 plus fringes, right, for the Department of Planning and cut 250 in the budget category B, right?
Yes,
Leslie?
yes, okay.
Okay.
I see Member Rollins Fernandez. You have a question?
Mahalo Chair, I don't know if you want to recognize the second before you recognize me.
Yeah, it
Oh,
would be
thank
me.
you.
It would be
Oh,
me.
did you have a comment?
No, I thought I seconded that motion.
You did,
Yeah.
you did. You have
No,
a comment?
she withdrew and then.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm doing the second.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
So, since these proposals to restore the funding for the expansion positions for planning and Department of OEV resources were requested by the budget director, why don't we just take up both motions one time instead of separating them? Oh.
Okay, well, we've already separated, so let's just proceed on with with this motion, and then we'll go to the next one. Member Kama, any more comments?
No, we can
Fine.
take up the planning one first and go on to
The next
the
one.
next one.
Okay, all right. Members ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
I don't see Member Johnson. Is it 8 ayes, 1 excuse?
Aye.
Oh, okay, 9 ayes, motion carries. Okay, Member Kama, thank you. Member Kama next.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I move to restore $18,376 plus associated fringe in budget category A for the East Maui Water Authority for the water resources expansion position and cut $32,050 from the budget category B for a net reduction in general fund expenditures of $13,674 less than any associated fringe. That's my motion.
Okay, Member Kama, is there a
Second.
second? Second, I heard Member Senensi, I think. Yeah, okay. Member Kama.
Okay, so, yes, thank you. So members, my staff was contacted by the budget director on behalf of the East Maui Water Authority to ask me to reconsider the funding cut that we made to expansion positions, taking the funding for those positions to 4 months of funding rather than 8 traditional months. The East Maui Water Authority offered to cut its operating expenses budget by $32,050 to balance the restoration of wages and salary expenses. It is only for that reason that I ask you to support the motion. And I respectfully ask your support. Thank you.
Okay. Does the seconder want to, Member Senensi, and then I'll call on you, Charlie? I think you had your hand up. Member Senensi?
Hello, Chair. Yeah, I understand that the department is a fairly new department, and so they're just trying to build out the department, not fully paying them the full years, but just to get some of the positions in so they can apply for some grants to supplement the operations. Thank you.
Okay. Question then, did they have somebody to hire lined up? Member Senensi, from what you just said.
Sounds like they are if they're asking for to put the money back in.
Okay. Any other discussion, members? Charlie, did you have your hand up? You didn't, okay.
Chair?
Yes.
Apologies. Could we just confirm again the add to salaries that's part of the motion?
Member Kama, do you have all the, what budget director shared?
What are you asking for, James?
Oh, could I, the number being added to the A account?
18,376 plus associated fringe in budget category A for East Maui.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, you're welcome.
Director Milner, you popped up. Did you want to say anything? And you went back out.
Thank you, Chair. No, I just was going to offer the number in case Councilmember Kama no longer had it handy. Thank you, Chair.
I have it.
Okay. Member Paulton.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
frozen.
So,
Oh.
I think that
We can't hear you, Member Paulton.
You're frozen. You're frozen on my screen,
oh,
Member Paulton.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can I hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
Try.
Just want to clarify.
Oh,
Here,
audio is going in and out.
can you hear me?
Choppy.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you're frozen.
I
This is what you look like.
guess, and
Charlie.
like you guys,
Yeah.
but
You know we can't. We
I
can't.
think I clarified that it was salary plus fringe, are we doing a lot of these? Like, should I go to the recovery center and leave this meeting?
No. No, that was it.
Clarify.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Member Paulton, just those two.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor, we're going to vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
I think Member Johnson's going to pop up. Or is it 8 ayes, 1 excused? Member Johnson?
No,
he is.
he's there.
Nine
There's
ayes.
Gabe.
Okay, 9 ayes, motion carries. Thank you. Member Paulton, are you voting? I think, did you say yes? I know, can you say yes?
Well, her hand's raised, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear?
Okay, now, yeah, she's just frozen, but we heard you. All right, any more?
Chair?
Yes, Chair. I mean, yes.
I need to leave now, and I'll be back at 1 at the chamber.
Okay. All right, any
Okay,
more
bye.
amendments? Any more discussions? Okay. All right, so no more corrections. So, members, I will entertain a motion to recommend passage on first reading, incorporating changes voted on in committee and non-substantive revisions of Bill 41, CD1, which is a budget bill, Bill 42, CD1, 2025 capital program bill, Bill 43, CD1, bond authorization bill, Bill 44, CD1, lapse bond bill, Bill 45, CD1, a bill for an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the county of Maui to enter into an intergovernmental agreement for a loan from the state of Hawaii Water Pollution Control Revolving Fund for various wastewater projects, fiscal year 26 budget ordinance, and Bill 46, CD1, a bill for an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the county of Maui to enter into an intergovernmental agreement for a loan from the state of Hawaii Water Pollution Control Revolving Fund for various water supply projects, fiscal year 2026 budget ordinance. Okay, I need a second. Member?
Second.
Okay. Tom Cook, Member Cook made the second, and Member Hodges made the motion. Anything you would like to speak to on the motion for all these bills?
Let's get out of here.
Yes? You want to, Member, oh, what's happening?
You need a recess?
You need a recess? You need a recess?
No, oh, okay, maybe a brief 1-minute recess, Chair.
Okay, 11:40, I'll just do 49.
Thank you.
back to the Budget Finance Economic Development Committee. Okay, staff asked for a recess, so please explain.
Oh, thank you for that, Chair. Well, one, we just wanted to confirm about the fuel tax and the weight tax, and everything's okay. So we just, I guess we'll just want to inform the committee real quickly. So the committee made some changes to salaries and fringe. So we'll recalculate that, and then whatever the balance that we get out of that, that's still in the general fund, we're going to split that and put that into half into emergency fund and half into post-employment benefits. So we'll do that calculation. And then just for the committee's information, we'll just restate the motion before the committee votes. So our understanding of the motion on the floor is to recommend passage of first reading of the following bills, including the actions that the changes that the committee decided on this past week, as well as any other non-substantive revisions for the following bills. Bill 41, CD1 2025, Bill 42, CD1 2025, Bill 43, CD1 2025, Bill 44, CD1 2025, and Bill 45, 2025, and Bill 46, 2025. And if those other bills require revisions, we'll add the appropriate CD1 to those as well.
Okay.
And our understanding is the motion was made by Member Cook, seconded by Member Hodgins.
I think the other way around. Member Hodgins and second was from Member Cook.
Oh, okay, thank you, Chair.
Yeah, whatever works. Okay, so you all heard, right? Twice now. All right, any more discussion? Member Shirley.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for all their hard work on this. You, Chair, everybody. I feel humbled by this exercise because I think it ended up where I think Member Cook and I had the least amount of asks in the long run. But in any way, I'm happy to do that. I cannot really fully support with all my heart and soul the real property tax proposals and what passed yesterday in committee. But I'm not going to vote no on it because it's part of the ordinance. And overall, I support the ordinance. I wish we could have come up with more cuts. I didn't want to touch real property. I really feel that because the assessments were so high, it was, I wish I could have thought of different alternatives so that we didn't have to, make changes, increase changes to the real property tax revenues. But I want to thank everybody, and especially our staff, working till 2:30 in the morning many times, and we put them through a lot, and I really appreciate what they did. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, anybody else want to say anything before I take the vote? Member Cook.
I just want to clarify that it was actually Member Hodgins, who I think was the lowest with Chair Lee for ask. I kept mine relatively modest, but it did, and I concur with. I also want to thank all of the staff, and for you, Chair. This has not been an easy task for any of us, and thank our families for supporting us and putting up through this time. And I hope that we as a body can come together and do the public's work with a good heart. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to say anything before I call for the vote? No? All right. Members, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye. I guess I have to, Member Johnson's going to pop up.
Aye.
Yay, okay. All right, 9 ayes, motion carries. Thank you.
Chair, apologies. I don't believe we see Member Kama.
Oh, she left, that's
Yeah,
right.
she went to a meeting.
So 8 ayes, 1 excuse, which is Member Kama. I have one more, which is the fuel tax rates and,
Motion passes, and what is the count?
8 ayes, 1 excuse.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Member Kama. So next is adoption of 2583 fuel tax rates for the County of Maui effective July 1, 2025. Need a motion. Okay, motion made by Member Hodgins and second by Member Cook. Any discussion? I think we made no changes to it. Yeah, all right. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Member Paulton. Okay, so there's 8 ayes and 1 excuse. Yes.
Oh, yeah, we're just seeing if Member Johnson will pop up, but
Member Johnson, are you going to pop up? Oh, okay. So this will be 7 ayes to excuse Member Kama and Member Johnson. So what about the weight tax?
Chair, the weight tax is included in Bill 41 in Appendix B, so there's no separate
Oh,
resolution
okay,
for it.
no separate. All right. So we did the corrections. So we're done. Yeah? Okay. So members, this ends the meeting, and thank you very much for all the hours that you have met, even coming back on Sunday instead of going late on Friday night. I think one night we went till 2 in the morning just trying to finish off, but we were getting grouchy, so we needed to take a break all day Saturday and came back on Sunday. So that is the end of all of our meetings. So at this time, members, this meeting is now adjourned.